Guys, this is Hillary. She is a senior in what's your actual?
Elementary education.
Elementary education from Pitt State. And I'll just let her talk. But yeah, go ahead.
Is it good? Are we good over here?
Your face isn't showing.
Oh, okay.
I'll move around.
No,
a
you're,
little bit,
yeah,
so
we'll do that.
I'll
Okay.
try and stay where you
Nah, you're good. You're good. Move around wherever you want.
Okay, so as Mrs. Turpin said, my name is Hillary. I am a Pitt State student right now. I actually graduated from this high school in 2014, so a little while ago. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the education department, the teaching and leadership department, and all the majors and minors that we have within our department. So how many of you guys are wanting to go into education? Raise your hand.
Including early childhood education.
Including early childhood, yes. So I am actually elementary education, but we do have what is called an early childhood unified. And your early childhood unified, for those of you who have the packets, it is this yellow sheet right here. So if you guys will just kind of look around with everybody, I don't have a whole lot of these packets with me, but this kind of gives you a layout. So the way that Pitt State Education Department is set up, you will have one of these sheets, and this will tell you each of the classes each semester that you'll take from your freshman year all the way through your professional semester. And so with the early childhood, it's a little bit different than your elementary as far as how your internship and student teaching semesters line up. If you're in early childhood, I don't think that you have I don't think you have a internship per se. You just have your straight student teaching. Although I have taken a couple of the early childhood classes that you'll take there. One of the first ones you'll take is interacting with children, and you'll just kind of learn how younger children interact within each other, and as well as how you will then interact with them, where they're at developmentally, and just at that level. So like I said, this will kind of break it down for you each semester, what you'll take, and that'll go into what your school years will look like at Pitt State. So for those of you who aren't early childhood but want to go into elementary, so kindergarten through 6th grade, the green sheet here will kind of tell you what classes you're going to take. So I am elementary education with an inclusive education minor. So for me, I am taking all of the education courses on this sheet, as well as a couple additional courses for special education. So are there any of you guys who want to teach kindergarten through 6th grade or one of those grade levels? Want to teach a couple of you guys? Okay, so yeah, this green sheet will be the one that you'll look at. The thing that's different, like I said, for your internship and student teaching semester, you will actually be placed in a school district for the entire school year. Most universities in the state of Kansas will only put you into school your student teaching semester. That'll be the only time you'll get experience working with kids. Pitt State's a little bit different. We like to put you in the classroom every single semester you're in our program. So I have been in a 4th, 5th, 2nd, and preschool classroom setting. So I've kind of gotten a little bit of exposure for that. And there's a lot of little towns around Pittsburgh, so I've actually been in different school districts for every single one of those. So that was kind of interesting because I got to see what a different school district, how they run their classrooms, as well as different grade levels. So if you're not really sure, I went into it not really knowing what grade I wanted to teach, but I've actually gotten a better idea of kind of what age range I'd like to be in. So do you guys know what grade level you're wanting to be in?
Sort of.
Sort of? What grade are you thinking?
Probably like kindergarten first.
Kindergarten first?
Yeah.
So if you're wanting to keep in that lower grade range, I would say your elementary or your early childhood unified is probably more where you guys are going to want to be. This is your early childhood foundations, right?
Yep.
Okay. So that's kind of more where you guys are at. Is there any of you guys who want to be in like that 3rd, 4th, 5th grade range? You want to be in the older kids? Okay. So the great thing about that, like I said, you're going to be placed in different grade levels. The way that they set it up for you, to even get into the program, you will take a Explorations for Education course. This course is set up to where you will say, hey, I want to be with these grade range of kids. I don't really care where I go, or I want to be at this specific school. It'll be within that region. And they'll actually place you in that. You'll be in there for a total of 30 or 33 hours. Sounds like a lot. It's over the semester, so it's like once or twice a week. It's really not that bad. But you'll get experience in that, and then from there you can say, yes, this is what I want to go into. Or you can say, you know what, maybe I don't want to go into teaching. Maybe this isn't quite the field for me. I like kids, but maybe this isn't where I'm wanting to do. So the next one that we have is our Elementary Education Unified, and that is this pinkish colored one. So if you guys have it, the folder, you'll have this one in there. This is for your general education certification as well as special education for kindergarten through 6th grade. So how many of you want to teach special education? Is there any of you in here?
Might be interested.
You might be interested. Okay, so with our Early Childhood Unified, I believe you actually get certified in special education for birth through 3rd. So that is one thing to consider if you want to go into early childhood. With Pitt State, you will be certified with special education. That is just a given. With elementary, you'd have to have this Elementary Education Unified major. And this is actually a new major that will be open to students starting in the fall of 2018. So by the time that you guys are in college, should you choose to go to Pitt State, this will be available to you. This is actually the major that I am changing mine to. Currently I'm elementary ed with inclusive ed as a minor. This will be the one that I will take, so I will be certified to teach not only general education, but also special education. So the next one I have, how many of you guys speak more than one language? Raise your hand. Okay, there's quite a few of you guys who speak another language. So we have a English as a second language minor. So what this one is you will learn how to work with students who are coming into your classroom and they speak a different language other than English. This is a really beneficial one for those of you who want to come back here and teach, or just anywhere. There's going to be students in your classrooms that don't speak English, and this is really beneficial because you'll learn how to teach them, but also you'll learn how to work with them and help them to grow and help them to adapt to your classroom. So that's really beneficial for those of you who want to do that. It's this purple sheet here. If you want to take a look at those, it'll kind of tell you what all your classes are. And these are really cool because they actually tell you how many credit hours you'll be taking each semester as well. I have a few friends who are in this one. They said they really enjoy it, and for them, English was a second language, and they said it was really beneficial for them to get that perspective of it from the teaching education side. So the next one I'm going to talk to you guys about is the inclusive education minor, which is what I am currently. So the inclusive education minor gives you the special education background knowledge. It does not certify you to teach special education, however. It is still really good knowledge to have. I went into this before they had the new major that they're going to add. I did not know quite what I was going to do with education. I just knew I wanted to be a prepared teacher, and I wanted to be able to work with every student of all diverse backgrounds and cultures, and this one is something that I felt was important to have an inclusive classroom. And then how many of you guys like technology? You guys all have iPads. Do you guys like using them? Some of you know. That's okay. That's okay. They introduced the iPads my junior year whenever I came here. So I definitely know getting used to working with them is a little bit different. We have a technology literacy minor, which is basically STEM, your science, technology, engineering, math. For those of you who like math or engineering type things, this is a really good minor to look into. Everyone will take a technology in the classroom course. This course will actually give you the tools that you can use within your classroom related to technology that are free, one, and that you can use without copyright. Because I know you guys probably search things and for your presentations, just, oh, this is a good picture, let's put it up here. They'll teach you how to do that, but without using copyright and getting in trouble with that type of stuff, so that's kind of nice. But they give you a lot of background knowledge, so do you guys like math or science? Anybody? several courses in the Kansas Technology Center, which is our KTC for short. It has all the engineering, it has all of the science stuff within that, and it's really cool. I've met quite a few people who have been with this degree and minor, and they seem to enjoy it pretty well. How many of you guys like math? Should we raise your hand? Okay, there's a few of you. So we actually have a elementary education with middle level math education as a minor. This will give you the foundation of education as your major, as well as give you some background knowledge for your math, so that way you'll be able to teach students and have that emphasis on there. For those of you who want to go into secondary education, I don't know how many of you guys will be in here, but the way that secondary education works is you will actually major in that specific subject that you want to teach, and then you'll minor in education. So this one's just a little bit different, whereas you major in education and minor in that subject.
Which I'll point out, just currently the way that the licensing system works in Kansas, if you get elementary or early unified licensing first, and then you decide you want to teach secondary, it's very easy to get your secondary endorsements. But if you teach secondary first, it's more difficult and you have to take additional coursework to go backwards and teach elementary. So if you're not sure and you're kind of like, yeah, maybe 4th graders, maybe 8th graders, maybe high school, whatever, it's easier to go through this first because you're majoring in education, and then you can specialize in the content area later if you choose to.
So, and I've talked to a lot of secondary education for that. They said that for them, they would actually have preferred to do education and then their subject area as their minor rather than the other way around, just because they still need that foundation of teaching. So how many of you guys want to teach overseas or just want to go overseas? Anybody? No, let's stay in the country. Okay. Even if you have the slightest interest in it, I would recommend checking out our education with international teaching as a minor. I have a friend who's actually going for this, and she has talked to me a little bit about it. She'd like to go overseas and teach English and teach math and different subjects, and she seems to really enjoy it. I know at one point Pitt State was offering your student teaching semester in Australia. I'm not sure if they're still doing that. However, that is something to consider if you are wanting to go and teach overseas. And you guys, when you go talk to your advisors, whenever you enroll at a university, ask them questions about different stuff like this. Especially if you're going into education, they probably have a lot of information that could be beneficial for you. So just keep that in mind. So one of the last minors that we have is a leadership studies. So our department is actually called Teacher and Leadership. We're the Teacher and Leadership Department at Pitt State in their teaching department. And so the leadership, if you guys are involved in a lot of things and you like to be in leadership roles, this might be a really good fit for you. Just to check it out, like I said, talk to your advisors, talk to the people that are in the faculty and staff, and ask them for some more information about some of this stuff. And I actually have right here a list and pictures of all of the faculty and staff in the teaching department. So these will be your advisors, they will be your instructors. You will see these faces again if you choose to go to Pitt State. They're all incredibly helpful, and they all take their time and make sure that they're helping you. They know what your goal is. You're trying to get through your college in time and also still learn a lot about education and teaching and working with kids. And they are actually really great because they've all had experience working in the schools. So the way that their education department is set up at Pitt, the faculty and staff have taught for a number of years in the school districts, and then they come back and teach as faculty and advisors at Pitt State. So that's pretty interesting and kind of a unique way to go about it that Pitt State does. So is there any questions or concerns or anything about college in general that you guys have that you're curious about? I've been in college for a little while now, so I think I can answer some of your questions.